Hey guys, Ryan here at Signature Edits, and we are going to go over the start to finish editing your brand new Facebook cover template. So thank you so much for purchasing this bundle. It is quick and easy to edit. First, I'm going to show you how to edit it if you're using Photoshop or Photoshop Elements. Then I'm going to do a quick demo if you don't have Photoshop. That's all right. You can use photopea.com and run PSD files and edit them from there. So once you open up your template, you'll need to make sure that you first install your fonts. Otherwise, it's going to say fonts missing. Can you find a substitute? And you'll have to select something else. You're free to do that, but first steps first, download those fonts and install them. If you don't know how to do that, you can check out YouTube. Just search for, your operating system plus how to install fonts. So it might be Mac OS how to install fonts 2018 or Windows 7 how to add fonts, right? Once you've added your fonts, you'll open up your template and it should look something like this. So we've got Photoshop open here, and if your view doesn't look the same as mine, you can simply go to Window and click Workspace. I'm in the Essentials mode right now. So I've got Essentials, and there's a few things I like to do to make it easier to edit. That is just dragging these little windows that I don't need. I get rid of them. So I just go Close. I'm right-clicking and hitting Close, Close, Close. So I just try and minimize. Now you can see that I've got all my layers here, which is great because now I have more room to see. But you don't have to do that. You can just leave it in the same standard view. That's fine. So once you open up your template, you'll see this, right? It says, thanks for purchasing. All the designs are inside one PSD file. So if you are panicking because you only saw one PSD file for download, that is not wrong. We have all 7 versions inside of this one file to make it really easy to access all of them. And you can see that I am showing and hiding those versions by hitting these little eyeballs here on these folders. So each version is contained in its own folder to make things really easy, super simple to edit. And the best part is once you edit one with the image, it will automatically add that image to the rest of them, which is really, really quick and easy and makes it just so much faster to edit. So all you have to do to edit your template, open up whichever version you like. So let's say I'm just going to start with version 1. I'm going to add an image, and then I can look at the rest of them and see which kind of template works best with that image. So I'm going to scroll down here. To open the folder, you just hit this tiny little arrow, and it'll open that folder. And then I'm going to go down to where it says double click to add. It doesn't quite show the entire text. I can drag that out if you want to see it. Double click to add your image. I'm going to double click inside this little box right here. So let me drag that back, make a little more room. Double click right in this image, and you'll see it's opened up a new tab. So to navigate tabs, all I have to do is just select these tabs. Just click up here, back and forth. And don't panic, this is super simple. It seems maybe a little complicated if you've never used Photoshop, but all I have to do is grab the image I want to insert into my template, and I just clicked and dragged it right onto this window. Now you'll see that there are little dots around this image. That's because it is currently in transform mode, which means I can resize it. So all I have to do is hold Shift on my keyboard. This is very important, otherwise it will warp your image like this, and we don't want that. So you're going to import your image just by dragging it over, hold down Shift, and then click on the corner of this image, any corner, and just drag it to fit the entire canvas, this entire gray box, right? And then we can just move our image however we want. So let's say that I like my image right there, then I hit Enter. Perfect, and I hit Command S or just go File, Save. Great, so that has saved. Now I can close this tab by hitting this X up here, and you'll see that our photo has been added to version 1. If I hit these eyeballs to hide version 1, I'll see version 2. Hide version 2, I see version 3. And you can see that all of the templates have been updated with that photo. So it's really quick and easy. Now I can quickly see which template works best with that particular photo. Let's say that I liked version 3. Perfect. So to edit version 3, all I do is hit this little arrow again to open up that folder. And all of the text layers are inside this little folder that says text. So I do that again. I click this folder. And then to edit the text, all you have to do is select the layer just by clicking on it once. You'll see it gets highlighted. And to edit it, I just hit inside this little text box. I double click. Bam. You can see that it's highlighted that text. And to edit it, I can either use my cursor to select a certain area, or I can just start typing. So let's say it's Ryan's Photo Coalition. Perfect. To edit the next text layer, I just go down here and double click inside that little T. Epic photos in no time. Great. Now to edit my contact information, I would do the same thing, just double click that T, and I would start putting in my info. So you can see it's all very, very simple and so fast to customize. In less than 20 seconds, I can have my entire template designed and updated, which is great. And once you've edited and added your info once to this template, next time all I have to do is switch out the image. It's super quick and simple. Now, if you've never used Photoshop before, you might be wondering, how do I get out of editing a text layer once I've added my text? So let's go back here to where it says Ryan's Photo Co. And if I wanted to get out of editing this, all I have to do is just click anywhere that's not on this text. So click here, and you can see that now it's no longer highlighted, and I can go and select a different layer, or I can move it around. So let's say that I wanted to move this text a little bit higher. I can do that a couple of different ways. I can click and drag and just move it wherever I want. Or I can use my arrow keys. So I select a layer, make sure it's highlighted, and then use my arrow keys to move it up or down. If you want to center your text, you can do so by pressing Command A on a Mac or Control A on a PC, or going to this marquee tool. Don't worry, marquee doesn't really matter if you don't know what that means, but we're just going to make a selection, and that's what that tool does, and just drag across the entire canvas. I just clicked and dragged so you can see everything is highlighted. Then press V on your keyboard or hit this little arrow thing, and then you can align your text by hitting these little buttons. So that will move it all the way to the right of the selected area. That will move it to the center, all the way to the left, to the bottom, to the center, vertically. You get my point. So you can click and drag. Now to clear this selection, this can be a little confusing. All you have to do is press M so that you've got your marquee tool, or hit this little box, and then click anywhere off the canvas once. Just click, don't drag. Bam. Okay, so I know Photoshop can be a little bit frustrating sometimes if you don't know where things are. That's why I'm going so in depth on all of these different tools. Now let's just talk about a couple other things if you want to tweak or customize your templates a little bit more. Let's say that I wanted to use, I don't know, this template, but I don't like how much black there kind of is underneath the text here. Well, that's why we've labeled and added all of our individual layers. So let me open up the layers inside this folder. You can see we've got a darken image layer. You can show or hide any layers you want just by clicking the eyeball to the left of it. We've got a color burn, which is adding some contrast to the image. And you can take that away, or you can add it, or you can edit the opacity of these layers by going up where it says opacity here. I just click that little arrow, and I can drag that up or down and intensify the effect or take it down, however I like it. So let's say I like it there, but I want to get rid of the black in behind this text. Well, go where it says make text more visible. I'm going to grab my opacity on that, and I'm going to take that down. You can see how we have faded it out. Now you can't really see it. Or if I wanted it gone completely, I could just hit that eyeball. I'd recommend doing that other than deleting the layer. You can do that if you want, just by right-clicking and going delete layer, or by pressing delete while it's selected. But personally, I like to have options because it might not work for this photo, but for another photo it might be really helpful. That's why it's in there. So that's how you edit those layers and adjust the opacity. Now we also have a light drop shadow on the text. You can edit that by double-clicking where it says drop shadow. And then we can add or take away that effect as well just by hitting the opacity right up here. And it's really that simple. Once you are finished with your template, you are ready to post this onto Facebook. All I have to do is go to File, Save As. We're going to save it as a JPEG. Ryan's new Facebook cover. Great. And I'm going to hit save. You can save it at max if you want, or you can save it a little bit less. Personally, what I found is that Facebook really compresses images when you make them too large. So I tend to go, a little bit lower, around high. Press OK and upload that to Facebook. It is really that simple. Now let's say I want to switch this photo out now. All I have to do is exactly the same as we did right at the beginning. I can open any of these templates, find where it says double click to add your image. I'm going to double click in that box. It's going to open up that tab again. I'm going to go over to my Finder window or your folder, whatever you have in front of you, and grab the image you like. We drag it in there, and then we hold Shift, grab the corner of that image, click and drag so that we resize it, and then we can move it around by letting go of Shift and just clicking on the image and dragging it wherever we like. Let's say I am happy with it right there. I hit Enter. Then I'm going to hit Command S or File Save, or Control S if you're on a PC. And it's going to update to all of our templates. So now we've got that on everything. So we can go through, grab the template that we think works best for this particular photo. I personally like version 2. And to save, I would go up to File, Save As, do the exact same process. So that is how to edit the template inside of Photoshop. If you're not using Photoshop, let me show you how to do it in Photopea really quickly. Alright, so to edit the template without Photoshop, we're going to go to photopea.com. Once we are on photopea.com, it's going to be the exact same process as if you were opening a project inside of Photoshop. We go to File, Open, find our template. Once we've got that done, you will see it looks pretty much exactly the same as Photoshop. So we have our big guide, thanks for purchasing. We can get rid of that by hitting the eyeball, and everything works exactly the same. So we can open up our different folders for different versions by hitting these arrows, hit the eyeballs to show and hide different versions, to edit and add our images. It's the same process. We just go down where it says double click to add image. We double click in that box. We're going to find our image here, drag it over, and then we're going to resize by holding Shift and clicking and dragging so it fills that entire rectangle. Move our image so it covers the canvas the way we want. Press Enter. I'm going to hit Command S or File, Save, Smart Object. Great. Now I can just hit this little X right there to get back to my main template set, and you'll see it's been added to all of our templates. Super simple, super quick, and that is that. So to export, all we would do is we can either go to Export PNG or Savage by hitting one button, or if we want, we can go to File, Export as JPEG, and we're going to do the exact same process. We just save it out, bam, done and ready. So that is the Facebook cover template set. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you, and I cannot wait to see the results once you start creating these templates for yourself. Happy branding, and thanks so much for purchasing.